Hola guys, the moon is out on this medieval battlefield where the Portuguese, commanded by me, and the Venetians are going to cross swords, and take my word for this, this is going to be the most epic battle ever. It's all periods, it's 10k, so I couldn't max out on everything good the Portuguese have, and the only rule as far as I can remember was maximum 6 cav. I went with a line of 2 Aventuros, 3 Dismounted Conquistadores, 3 Pike Militias, 3 Musketeers, 2 Conquistadores, so the mounted ones, and 2 Knights of Santiago and the General's Bodyguard. On the other side, my direct opponent, he went with 3, Knights Hospitallers, a General's Bodyguards unit, 1 Broken Lances, and 2 Stradios, or I think 2 Hospitaller units, not 3, sorry. He also went with a line of Dismounted Men-at-Arms and Dismounted Broken Lances over here as the main battle line, and he has 4 Musketeers overlapping with, I think, 4 Pike Militias. So what I don't like is his Stradios. I don't like seeing his Stradios harassing my guys, so I want to take them out of the equation as soon as I can, and I'm going to initiate this big cat fight over here. The Stradios, I want to take the Stradios out of the equation. As I said, they are fast moving and they can harass my guys, my Musketeers. I don't want that happening. So I'm moving my General's Bodyguards over here, and I'm hoping to bunch up his cav, but that is not going to happen, as you can see. My Knights of Santiago also moving in to help out, but he's got his, except for his Stradios, he's got the 2 of his Knights Hospitallers, I think, and another unit of the Stradios moving in. So I'm charging my second unit of Knights of Santiago in here, so they can take out some of his infantry out of the battle. But sadly his Knights Hospitallers did get to one of my Musketeer units before I could get to them. So I'm just moving out of there since a single point, and I'm going to charge my Knights at the backs of his bunched up cav force over here. But this is going to be really tough, as you can see, this cav battle, because he also moved in a couple of his infantry units to help out here. He's moving in his Dismounted Men-at-Arms, and I'm waiting far. I'm moving with Pike Militias, but it's going to take a while for them to get there. So I'm saying, okay, since that is happening on that wing, let's use my other cav units, my other 2 cav units, being my Conquistadores, to harass his other wing, and basically I'm gonna take out some of his Musketeers over there. And since I see I also took out a lot of his Broken Lances. They're not up to the task of standing against my Conquistadores. But as I saw him bringing on his General Bodyguards to the fight, and also some Pikes, I think, or Dismounted Men-at-Arms, I moved out of there, and as you can see in the middle, not much is happening. Actually, it is happening, but our lines have not crossed. He tried to bring some men over there, but ultimately they all his waves did fail because they were met by waves of musket fire from my guys. And over here, as you can see, he pretty much won the cav fight. He pretty much won the fight in this ring. It's not good. Look at that. He's got a lot of knights. I know this, I see this, so I'm dedicating a unit of Musketeers. I think this is the unit that came back from routing, being charged at the beginning. I'm dedicating this unit just so that they can fire at his guys. And I'm also going to bring, again, my Pike Militias up there to try and hold out a bit longer to stall the progress of this cav force over here, because these guys can be really significant to the battle, and they are suffering some nice casualties from the fire of my guys. On the other hand, I'm moving in the middle, as you can see, I'm moving my line to meet his line. I want those guys, I want to engage his guys, because I think he's got way too much spare time on his hands at the moment in that part of the battlefield. And as that is happening, as you can see, my Pike Militia is going to get caught up, and they're not even going to last for a second there against these Dismounted Men-at-Arms. And the good thing is, he did lose a lot of men in a lot of forces from fire of muskets. That is a comforting thing. And as our lines are going to meet, you see also his General's Bodyguards trying to get to my muskets, and he did get to my muskets, but I managed to catch up with him with the remainder of my Conquistadores force. I hope these guys will stop routing, because if they don't, I'm screwed. At this point I have more kills, but I don't feel I have control over the battlefield. I definitely do not feel that, because this battle is so spread out. Anything can happen. He's got his, as you can see, remainder of his cav force, not much, but it's still enough to cause a difference, because if he manages to just get a charge of my guys here and then, they're gone. That's bye-bye for them. Here in the middle I have my Conquistadores and Aventuros. They're gonna tear these guys to pieces. As you can see, they started routing. Never had a chance, but here my Pike Militias are routing because they got flanked by these dismounted men. Here I have my Conquistadores charging at his Musketeers, which is real good, and I'm going to use this unit for some more flanking maneuvers. His General's Bodyguard is still caught up, is still in a fight with the remainder of my Conquistadores, and I have a unit of Pike Militia here joining up the fight and trying to help out my Conquistadores. Actually, I think, no, they're still here. One, and there he goes. So his General's Bodyguards managed to kill off my Conquistadores and rout my Spear Combat, and managed to get some casualties. I managed to inflict some casualties on them. And here I'm trying to, as I said, with this unit of Conquistadores, to flank out maneuver, to just do whatever I can. What I'm left with are these Conquistadores, are these Dismounted Conquistadores over here, Aventuros, Pike Militia. He's got his dismounted Pike Militia, his dismounted men-at-arms, he's got his General's Bodyguards, he's got his dismounted men-at-arms here, he's got his muskets, I think. Oh no, dismounted men-at-arms there. His broken lances here, his musketeers. I think those guys came back from routing. That's not good. So this is anybody's battle by the moment. We're clashing all over this battlefield, and well, nothing is decided. It's 50-50. I still have more kills than he has, but it doesn't have to be anything. His Pike Militias are holding out against my dismounted Conquistadores here, a bit so longer for my taste. He's got his dismounted men-at-arms that are going to clash with my Aventuros over here, supported by these dismounted Conquistadores. And there in the back, another fight is happening. I think dismounted men-at-arms are taking on my Aventuros, my Pike Militias, and my Pike Militias. And look at this. This is just crisscrossed, like a zigzag line in every line, and what's in every direction. And what's really bad for me is that his cav force, which was preoccupied way back there a minute ago, is now joining up the fight. His 6 Knights Hospitallers and 17 Knights Hospitallers here, and he's got his there go my Conquistadores. I think he's got his General's Bodyguards are definitely going to be a major factor here. That's what scares me, because those guys are going to be real tough to deal with. And at this stage of the battle, the good thing is a lot of his men are starting to rout now, but his cav force for this stage of the battle, as I said, is very, very strong, and they can make a hell of a difference. They caught up here with my Musketeers. That's not good. And I'm going to try to chase them down with my Militias, but it's not going to happen. They're not going to catch them. So I'm going to try to provoke an engagement. The bad thing is, my pikes or my troops that are lower morale are really easily routed, and they're not going to be around for long to make a difference. I'm bringing my dismounted Conquistadores back there because they cannot catch these Musketeers. 47 of them, remember them? This unit. Way there in the back, I think they came back from routing, and they managed to rout with one shot my dismounted Conquistador. That's not good. And it is at approximately this point when I thought about giving up the battle, I mean, there's no point. I have my Pike Militias here, engaging his Knights of Santiago. I think it's a really stupid move by him. He managed to rout my guys, but he did lose a couple of horses, which, I mean, at this point he should not have done. I mean, he should have taken more care of his cav, because they should have been his prime killing force. I managed to get some conquistadores here, the last remaining of my conquistadores, and I'm going to charge these guys now at the backs of his dismounted men-at-arms. I managed to rout one of his units, but he's got the remainder of his cav force here outflanking my guys, and I think this is bye-bye for my conquistadores as well. They're gonna rout sooner or later. But as you can see, I didn't give up the battle. I said, screw it, I'm gonna fight this to the end. We'll see what happens. He loses some horses. There were 17 a minute ago, as you remember. Here, he also charged them. He again charged them at my Pike Militia. Managed to rout my guys, and my guys were out of formation. I think I told them to run this part of the battle, so that's why they were out of formation. So it's pretty hopeless at the moment. I'm left with my Dismounted Conquistadores, with these Aventuros. These guys are going to run away from the clash from Conquistadores, of course, no reason to do that. And these 62 Musketeers, they really have to protect these guys. He's got his General Bodyguards, he's got his Knights Hospitallers, he's going to get a charge at my Conquistadores here. And these guys courageously hold their ground. It's the battle leader says it's my advantage. I don't feel I have the battle under control, nowhere near under control. I lost a lot of conquistadors in this charge, and still has 7 General's Bodyguards and 5 Knights Hospitallers. As I said, I have to protect these guys. They're very tired and shaken, because one charge of them I know will totally rout them, so I'm trying to get them close to my Aventuros or behind my Aventuros and Dismounted Conquistadores, because, as I said, if his cav gets to them, they're out of the equation, and then he's left with his cav, his muskets, against my 2 Aventuros, and Dismounted Conquistadores, so the 2 units of the 2 infantry units. So that's game over pretty much for me. He's just going to shoot me to death and then charge and retreat, and well, not much I could do in that situation. And here, the worst thing that could happen happens. He targets my guys, he sees that they're vulnerable, and he's gonna get to them, and he's going to get a nice charge of them. I'm trying to catch him with the remainder of my Dismounted Conquistadores. I'm not gonna manage. And there go my Musketeers. They were 62, now they are 54, 53, and counting 49, 48, 47, 47, that's it, I think, no, 46. So he managed to rout them, and I'm trying to pursue him, but I feel at this point that's pretty much game over. He's gonna shoot my guys to that. It's 16 Conquistadores, 20 Aventuros, that's nothing. He's got his small cav force and his Musketeers, but here luck smiles upon the Portuguese and their courageous general, being me, and my Musketeers come back from routing, and this is the little help I needed. I'm going to regroup these guys, and now, I mean, again, it's anybody's game, and I'm going to fight, and I feel that I'm not going to surrender this. I'm not going to admit defeat. I'm going to fight this to the end, whatever happens, and I'm going to charge my guys now, like Conquistadores, and these guys are really, really courageous. They're going to get charged by these General's Bodyguards. Again, they lost men while they were advancing towards these Musketeers, but they still hold on, and they're going to hold it out until my Aventuros come from the back. And he's losing the Musketeers here. He's losing men, and my guys get some free shots from there, as you can see. The best thing is he's losing his cav. I know that if my guys manage to hold out long enough for his cav to die out, then I have a chance because my Musketeers are more and they're in a better position than him, although his guys are not even tired. My guys are very tired. There goes his general. Bang bang. And here come my 6 Aventuros. There were 20, remember? Now there are 6. They lost so many men due to fire from the muskets. And here I engage his lines, and his Musketeers are not going to hold out even against 6 of my guys, and they're going to rout. And besides that, I have them under fire from my Musketeers. There go. Okay, first my Aventuros routed because that Knight Hospital, those 2 Knight Hospitals managed to outflank them. But there go his Musketeers finally. So that was the shot that routed them, and what are we left with? My 46 Musketeers against this brave Knight Hospitaller. So it all comes down to this, his last man standing. And if he manages to get to my line, I don't know if this guy can rout a unit of 46 Musketeers. But the good thing is, he doesn't manage to get to my lines. I managed to get the final shot out. And this was absolutely epic. It came down to the wire. A great battle to my opponent, and in the end, this unit of Musketeers was the only thing remaining in this battle. A very bloody battle. 1,830 men. Well, just 10 men difference on this battle for me and my opponent. So, equal armies. I have 400 guys remaining. He has 150. I killed or captured 1,600 of his guys. He killed or captured approximately. Actually, this 1,700 from his guys, and he killed or captured 1,600 of my guys. That was sick. If we take a look at battle statistics, we'll see that my General Bodyguard inflicted 107 casualties. My Conquistadores, I think these are this is the unit that lasted out until the very end. An insane, sick amount of kills, 251, a really nice amount of kills. My Knights of Santiago, 294. And the rest. Also my Musketeers, look, 150, 130, 113, so a great amount of kills by those guys. Yeah, great battle again to my opponent. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Hope that you will stay around for more battles that will come on my channel. So take care and bye bye.